I'm just wondering how Darren has responded since the game and how he's doing today.
I haven't talked to him today. So we practice in 30 minutes, but he practiced, yesterday. So there was no issue yesterday. So, but we took Monday off and then practiced yesterday.
And just watching crazy question, just watching the BYU game last night. I know AJ visited here and you guys were in his final list. Was there ever a world that existed where both guys could have come?
No.
Yeah.
No. No. Not unless you come about some money the old-fashioned way and inherit a ton. So.
Bill, I was curious what you think of the defense so far this year, and how does it compare to some of the defenses you had in the past?
I think it's been better. I don't think it's near where it was on championship type teams in February. But can we get there? I certainly think we have the potential to get there. So I don't. I'm fairly encouraged this early to have the numbers that we have defensively, playing a good schedule.
Coach, love your podium. It's nice. First question about Darren. Obviously, he special elevates the team, but the games he was unable to play, how valuable was that for the other guys to get on the court and to fit in and find a rhythm with guys, and if they needed to impress you in a game, they had that chance.
I think that it was beneficial, but I also say this: I don't know that Cole benefited from it as much because he needs somebody in the game that can get him open looks and stuff like that. That maybe we didn't have as much as hopefully what we'll have moving forward. But having those guys out there competing and learning how to grind and make other teams play poorly, that kind of stuff, I think is very valuable. And certainly one thing that we did do that we didn't anticipate doing was move Trey and Bryson and Flory, move them around where they're all playing together, which probably wouldn't have done that if you got DP, Melvin, and one other guy. So we probably found a lineup that I may not would have played as much if that didn't happen.
Ariel's got a million foul calls in high school. If you were within about 3 feet of him, there was a whistle, and he was shooting free throws. Darren seems to, and Melvin even said it, he works so hard to get fouled. Have you ever had a guy like that he's almost welcoming contact so he can shoot a free throw?
I actually think that he does at times in practice. I haven't seen it in the game yet, though. He had been healthy enough to do it, and the other day he was sick. So I haven't seen him get in there and draw fouls and shoot free throws. But I do think he's got to be a 6 to 8 attempt guy a game. And if he does that, then we'll be a lot better off, and he'll score a lot of points if he's getting 6 from the line or 8 from the line every game. So, even the other day, he wasn't he didn't feel well at all. And he played 22 minutes, and he got off 14 shots. Let's just say he plays 30 minutes, and he gets off 17 shots and shoots 45%, and he shoots 6 free throws. He's averaging 22. Now I'm not saying I'm not putting a prediction on it, but the biggest thing is he's got to do what you said, Dave, because that's an element of our offense that if you look at it last year, we didn't draw any fouls, and you look at K-State and Haggerty, if I'm not mistaken, he's probably as good as there is in America at getting to the free throw line. And I think Darren has to find that balance where he can be like that, but still yet be a perimeter shooter and those sorts of things, because he's going to get an opportunity to get fouled because people are going to crowd him. and he's got to take advantage of that.
When it comes to Trey, he's getting to the free throw line a lot. I know he did that at Illinois. How have you seen his ability to creatively draw fouls improve compared to last year to now?
Well, I haven't studied Trey to the point of drawing fouls and what is he doing better this year than last year. But what Trey does do, he's got some old school NBA type stuff that when he lifts a guy, he knows how to extend his arms. He knows how to do some things that a lot of college kids don't know how to do yet to create contact. And he's looking for the contact as opposed to trying to play around it. And too many guys try to play around the contact as opposed to go through it. And he loves to get his arms extended and that kind of stuff, which is clever. And if you go back, and the one guy in the NBA that's so good at it is Harden. And I do wonder maybe if he studied him a little bit on how he goes about doing that.
Continuation now is a thing as well. How much has that maybe influenced some of this, and how kind of an impact has that had?
Probably not to the level that you would think, because that is something that we haven't spent a ton of time on talking about. The shot starts at your first plant foot or whatever. I mean, being technical about it, we should always try to score the ball if we think a whistle's coming, because you're going to be in the act of shooting more than likely. But other than that, we haven't spent a lot of time talking about that.
Does Trey feel like a player who's been here longer than 5 months? I mean, does he feel like a guy that kind of is your kind of guy that you could see having grown up in your system? I mean, it certainly looks that way from the outside.
The one thing that he does, I don't know if you guys have seen it, he runs. He's as good as I've maybe ever had going from defense to offense running. And Melvin's is fast, and Flory's is fast. Why aren't we running more? So that's something that we have to take advantage of, his skill set and being able to do that. But we pick and choose way too much as opposed to doing it every time. I would say Trey has been a pleasant surprise in how quick he has fit in. So to your point, I'd say that's probably right.
Yeah, probably pretty rare nowadays with a portal guy, right?
You know what? I would say he would be in that 80 to 90%. It happens at other places too, but it's happened seamlessly for him here, though.
And getting back to the defense, what areas are you looking at, especially in the next, say, month, for them to make that jump?
I think our inability to build a wall in transition. You saw that against Missouri, especially with Mark bringing it at us with the head of steam. I think he scored 6 points or 7 points just on putting his head down and driving it head of steam in transition. So I think we got to build the wall better. I also think, and we saw it against UConn in the second half, we saw it against Missouri in the first half. Those are two big teams that are both good rebounding teams without question, but we didn't play physical on the glass. I think those are two areas. So, steals are important. Deflections are important. Block shots, you add them all up, they all have great value. But if you're not elite at stealing, deflection, stuff like that, then become elite at finishing possessions, because it accomplishes similar things. Steals allow you to get out and run and do some things, but block shots do the same thing. There's a lot of things that we can accomplish defensively to allow us to play faster, but it's hard to play fast if you don't control the glass, and we can do a better job with that.
NC State It's a very new roster this year, but it's largely composed of guys you've already seen at Tech, Houston, Carolina, Michigan State. What kind of impact does that have on scouting, or is it not really applicable because it's a new system?
I think from a personnel standpoint, yes. Guys are still going to do the things that they like to do in isolation situations or things like that, maybe that they did at the prior place. But from a tactical standpoint and from a scheme standpoint, I don't, it's okay if this guy's got an unused dribble on the left wing and his back's to you, this is what he likes to do. That's probably going to be similar, but the way that they put them in those situations, or even if they do put them in those situations, will be something that'll be all fresh and new.
And then just generally, what's your read on NC State and how they've looked through 9 games so far?
I think that they're a lot like us, trying to find their way, but it's kind of a role reversal. They've been inconsistent on the defensive end where we've been so inconsistent on the offensive end. I don't know if you guys have followed it. They can score the ball, and they got guys that can score the ball, and they got guys that are capable of taking and making hard shots because they're talented and everything. So I would say. And I can't speak for them, but to me, they're a really talented team that will be a better team in January and February, just like we will be, because they're all so new.
What do you think of Darian, and did it get serious in recruiting him?
Well, we recruit him hard. Yeah, yeah, I think he's a good player. He crushed us last year at our place playing for Tech, but I think he's a really nice player.
What they asked before, could you have made room for 2 stars like that, Darian Peterson and Darian?
Yeah, and same thing I would tell you. There's actually, unfortunately, there's a limit on what you can do, even if it's not a hard cap. It's still a cap, because there's only so much that you can do in certain situations. So,
second trip to Carolina country, is it exciting to go out there twice in 1 year? Is it extremely difficult? What do you think about going out there twice?
Well, I don't think it'll be that much difficult. It'll be our second time to actually fly into Raleigh, so I don't think that'll be difficult. Yeah, I do think it's going to be a little warmer there. I don't know about how much, but no, I don't think that has much to do with anything.
My son said I was crazy for watching college basketball Sunday when the NFL was playing, but I thought it was going to be the most entertaining game for 2 hours. And, Melvin said when he watched the game last year and they stormed the court there, he didn't like watching that. And the crowd was incredible on Sunday. It was just, the building was electric. How important is this game now that it's returned to have this, be something that, whether it's here, there, somewhere in the middle, that game is one that people are just going to be sky high for?
I actually thought the game and the atmosphere was better than I thought it would be, because ticket sales were a little iffy, the week of. So, because it wasn't part of anyone's season ticket package. I thought the numbers were actually turned out to be good. I think it's a good game. But I will say this, it's a different world now. With playing in the players' era now, it's no longer 3 games, it's 4. You have to schedule for 4 games. Well, that eliminates somebody you're going to play immediately. Well, we're not going to get out of the Champions Classic. And the year after next, we're still going to go to Vegas and open up the Allegiant. Is that what it's called, Allegiant? Yeah, the Indiana game. We're still going to do this. So there's about six, and I actually thought about this last night because I knew you'd ask that question. There's about 6 games that we will play that doesn't have anything to do with playing a game in Allen Fieldhouse or a road game. Now the question is, who do you get a home and all that stuff, and what you potentially can do, and then do you have room for another one? Which my personal opinion, and I'd probably say no. I think 8 games out of 13 is plenty that are all going to be NCAA tournament type teams you're playing in the non-conference. So that doesn't answer your question. I just don't know the answer because I don't know how everything will play out moving forward.